Alrighty. What is good, everybody? Good evening, and welcome to a triple threat late for the party special going on. Late for the party on Anchor FM, late for the party live on Facebook, and late for the party live on Instagram. I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy, the modern marvel. Man, it is going down. It is going down on social media right now because quiet is kept. I don't even know where to begin to the magnitude of the fact that sports is just going off the chain right now. Like Muggs is getting called out on a Blackcard. Stephen Terrell Owens goes off on calls out Stephen A. Smith on his Blackcard and everything. I'm like, wow. Saying that Max Kellerman definitely uh, is definitely at the barbecue on that one. I'm like, damn, bro, damn. I'm like, yeah, wow. But before I get into that, what I really wanted to get into was the whole thing that my boy Pete and I was talking about at work before, and that was about the whole thing with Myles Garret hitting the helmet hitting up upside the head, taking off Mason Rudolph's helmet and hitting him upside the head with it. So, well, now of course the schematics and everything, it looks bad. So I mean, of course, everything looks bad on the point to where you know Myles Garrett. I mean, it's damn near at the end of the game anyway. We pretty much lost, so it's like they were saying it was unnecessary for Myles Garrett to hold him down and everything else, and it's like my thing was, and he let him go, but old boy was still grabbing on, so Myles. Well, from what we see, Myles rips his helmet off. Myles rips off Mason's helmet, and he cracks him upside the head with it. And then you see Pouncey and a couple other folks doing a tap dance, like doing punches and tap dancing on him and kicking them in the nuts. So it's like now, like I said, when you look at the schematics of everything, it looks like Myles is completely in the wrong. But now, from what I'm being told and everything, and what people are saying on media, that something that Myles was provoked by Mason by saying something not cool. So, depending on what that is, because there was supposed to be a conference about Mason apologizing about something, and then from what they're saying, that word might have got out of what he might have said, and then next Mason's starting to double back. Now, of course, who may or may not know, me and my family are Pittsburgh all the way. So, regardless of any event, you know, if my team, and here's the thing about me, I could talk shit about my team all day, every day. Okay? If my team is winning, cool. If my team is playing like shit, I will let it be known and I could say whatever else. Let's see somebody else back up their team and talk shit about them when they lose it. I mean, honestly, because I hear people, oh, they were tired. They had a game last against the bigger people. No, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? No, straight out. So we're going to talk about it like this. Now, normally, in somebody's right frame of mind, if being provoked, no matter what, even if you say something that could have been like low key fucked up, like it could actually start some shit. Could actually start some problems. So honestly, I feel that I mean, come on, the game was relatively. I mean, it's already over with. So it's like for him to actually do all of that, from that point, something was said. And I'm sorry, Dad, and I'm sorry, Uncle Mike, I'm sorry, Unks, all of y'all. I think Rudolph said something to him. I think Rudolph said something to him that might have pissed him off, that might have pissed Myles off, straight out. You know what I'm saying? Before I jump on the train, I want to know where it's going before, I want to know where the destination and everything else before I start jumping on anything, because there's two sides to every story. I mean, the game was already over. I mean, Mason might have said some shit. He might have. Your game is relatively over. You about to get sacked. You stop it. You sitting there talking shit. You know, it's a walking possibility at that point. That's what I'm thinking. Straight out. It's like dudes actually might have said some derogatory shit to him, and that's why he popped him upside his head with his freaking helmet. And nobody really saw that Mason was grabbing that helmet as well. So I don't know, man. That's some crazy shit, for real, for real. So I mean, like I said, Mason might be in the wrong on this, and if they figure out whatever's going on, because they want to really follow suit and find out what's going on with everything, uh, you know, I want to find out what's going on with people too, in case if they starting some shit. Pouncey and them might have got pinched for nothing. I mean, even though you protecting your teammate, but if your teammate might have said something to another person that might have offended him low key, and from what it sounds like, it doesn't sound so good. So, um, yeah, man, just see what happens when it comes down to shit like that. Fucking folks is getting a trump card pulled and everything, man. It's like, damn, crazy shit. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know Mason. I don't know Mason Rudolph like that to that magnitude, but I don't know. He might have been having a bad day. Might have said some shit under his breath, or might have said some shit to him, and got your head hit with your own helmet. 9 out of 10 times, I mean, 9 out of 10 times, somebody might pop somebody upside the head because they might have said something out of pocket. You can't really be mad at that. I can't even be mad at that. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll find out when they start dipping into more shit, because like right now they still trying to figure shit out. But man, oh man, it is going down. And then today when Terrell Owens freaking pulling Stephen A's trump card, pulling his shit about Max Kellerman acting more black than him. Mm, mm, mm. It's starting to get real on social. It's starting to get real on media in general. Like Muggs is going ham, like straight out. Like Max was like, nah, hell, like Max was like, he couldn't even really say anything from that point. And don't get me wrong, Stephen A, he has his moments to where he might say some real shit. Sometimes he might say some shit that might be kind of low key, like, damn, bro. But that's his prerogative. And I feel like T.O. was kind of in the wrong for stepping out of pocket by saying that. Not only on social media too, like on air. He said that shit on air, that Max is acting more blacker than you. I was like, damn. Man, it ain't good. It ain't good to be anybody right now. Like Muggs is just getting sensitive about what they talk about, what they see, what they know. It's like, damn, bro. Can't believe that shit. Mm-mm-mm. But what happened? Paused. What is going on? Alrighty. That is very, very weird. But it's saying reconnecting on the Instagram side. So hold on to your lunch, ladies and gentlemen. We are still on and we are still going. Man, it is crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Max Kellerman, you get more time frame. But don't get me wrong, though. It's like, but they're talking about the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick and whatnot. And you know what? Honestly, on a humble, when it comes down to the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, and it's like him wearing a Kunta Kinte shirt and everything, it's and people are arguing with the fact that, like, you know, it's kind of hard to back you up and trying to land you a gig when you rocking stuff like that, and or how they're his whole setup of like him going to a high school instead of being at the facility where they were doing their thing at. You know, I mean, it is what it is in that aspect, and I mean, but you kind of figuring that he's just doing this thing because maybe he don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's a damn surprise nowadays. You know, they catching you off guard. They're already saying some shit like, you taking a knee you taking a knee against police brutality, and next thing you know they questioning your patriotism. So it's like crazy shit. That's interesting. What happened with? Hold on, let's see. What happened with Instagram? One just dropped. Okay, well, we'll just do the daily dose then. Hold on. Alrighty. So we'll just do it like this. I will take. Oh, shit. Am I back on? Oh, I guess so. Huh. Hey, here we go. So if anybody might have missed whatever I was saying, y'all can jump on my Facebook and actually see what I've been talking about from this entire time. Or you can actually listen to the podcast on Spotify, on anything. Just type in Late for the Party, and there I am. Man, but back to what I was saying, like with the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick, I mean, there's nothing wrong with protesting. I mean, especially what you're trying to do. I think it's a little hard to protest while you doing your profession, when you're doing it while you're on your profession. I mean, there's nothing wrong to saying that you can't, but then it might be a problem. So I'm not saying what they did to him was right, but then they did whatever because, but you're sitting there trying to get a gig, and of course, most of the people who are looking at you are predominantly white, who you're trying to get plugged onto a team, and you're rocking the Kuta Kinte shirt, which most of the people may not understand. So it's gonna look kind of bad in some aspects. And I was funny because I was talking to my dad about this earlier today, and I was like, when it comes down to, you're doing your thing and you're taking a knee. I mean, you're doing your thing for the national anthem. Now, is it disrespectful or unpatriotic if you're just sitting there at at the thing? I mean, if you're really standing up or sitting down. So, but now with all this stuff that's happened on there, now people are able, like all the professionals, if they want to stay in the back while it's going on, they can. But, you know, people are going to know that they're not doing it anyway because the whole thing got spun out of control. But I mean, just with anything in general, it's like, when people are being provoked and they kick the hornet's nest, and that's what happens. But when it comes down to Colin Kaepernick, I mean, he's playing like, he's practicing and everything else like he wants to play, but I mean, does he really want to play? Because if he does, then that means he has a gag order on him. That means no protesting. That means nothing. That means he can't talk about it. That means he can't do nothing about it. He can't say anything about it. Even before or after, even when he's away from the job, he probably won't even be able to say anything about it. So at that point, it's just dead silence. So what would you do? What would he do in that aspect when it comes down to, you know, right now you're pretty much on that verge of like you're standing your ground, but now it's kind of like, now your job and everything else is on the line. So, I mean, it's a slippery slope. It's like even talking about religion or something at work. You can't really do that, or you can't. Like, I can't sit there busting out with anything about protesting anything while I'm on the floor of my job or anything without somebody flipping out or tripping about it. So, I mean, I do find that to be problematic, but not in a way to where it's offensive or anything like that. No, but I just think it's just that, it's just there is a point in time for everything. There is a point in time for everything. Just like with getting pulled over by the police and everything else like that. And that's another thing me and my father we was talking about today. So, like folks is getting pulled over, but then you see folks actually trying to stand their ground against a cop on what they're trying to do to them and everything. And honestly, it's like it's hard because on one end of the spectrum, you have a situation to where you're standing your ground. Like you stand your ground and then they pull you out of the car and then stuff like that. Aside from like what my dad always said, keep your hands on the wheel, don't make any sudden moves, tell them what's going on and everything. But then, you know, shit don't go that way sometimes. You just, and I'm always a firm believer why kick the hornet's nest, because it's like people just, you got these cops who are sitting there every day busting their asses trying to do something. Some of these cats aren't corrupt. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I'm not saying everybody is, but not everybody is. But then you got the ones who are sitting there trying to do whatever they got to do. They trying to get home to their families. They're sitting here getting sweated on, disrespected on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes a question they might ask is pretty damn simple. But then there's some situations to where, like, that you are getting sweating and, showed on everything that you're just getting ridiculed. And, that's happened to me. That's happened to me when I was taking my brother home one time. I was taking my brother home right after my sister's wedding. So cops pulled us over, pulled me and at the time Ingrid was up in the car, and they pull us over, tell us what's going, like, what are we doing out and everything else. I'm like, oh, I'm taking my brother home and everything else. And it's just like, and then they go check the car. They go to the back, go scan in the car, check my license and all that stuff. Obviously, I'm cool as a cucumber. Nowadays, you ain't gonna be driving anywhere without your car being like up to date on the shit. So, and then while they're playing the waiting game and everything, then they come back, they'll sweat me up a little, and they sit there. Oh yeah, well, okay, well you have a good night. Just make sure you get your taillight fixed. And I'm like, get my taillight fixed. Okay, I tell them like, okay, say no more. Okay, thank you very much. Take my stuff, take my license registration, start rolling off. As soon as my brother gets out the car, I was like, Mike, do me a favor. Check the back of check the back of my whatchamacallit. Check my taillights and everything. Make sure everything's up to snuff. Hit the brakes, everything, emergency blinkers, all that. Keep in mind the cops were across the street on the other side of the street while I'm going the opposite direction. And they bust a U-turn. You know what I'm saying? They bust a U-turn. And all my lights and everything from what my brother was telling me, they're stuff, they're good. That's some messed up stuff right there. I mean, and it happens. It happens 24/7. Now, I could have been that same guy of flipping out, tripping, saying whatever, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, at that point, what are you going to do? Because it's like nowadays, it's like, you kick the hornet's nest and it's like you're going to stir up some shit. So, it's a slippery slope. Nowadays, it's kind of like you can't even be in the privacy of your own home without a cop coming in and killing you while you sit there eating ice cream, watching TV in the privacy of your own crib. So, I mean, it's a little hard. I mean, it's a little hard to follow. It's a hard act to follow when it comes down to stuff like that. So, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Sometimes it's better just to keep silent, just to follow directions, and so you can make it out of that shit. It's a scary thought. Had guns drawn on me and everything else. Pops taught me and my fam early in our lives to be like, look, straight out, just do what they ask. Don't sit there trying to start some shit that they're going to try to pull their authority on, I'll throw their authority on you and then call it a day. I mean, they're going to do that. You can't sit there cussing out a cop knowing that the first thing they're going to do is try to handcuff you. Not to make this any kind of, trying to make this a race thing, but, certain ethnicities can get away with that. Not all of us. You know what I'm saying? Can't even speak our minds without somebody even saying like, "Oh, you're being belligerent," or "Stop resisting," or "You're resisting arrest." I mean, which is crazy, and it's funny. Like I said, like for a cop to come in somebody's house and shoot somebody cold. I mean, the innocent dude in cold blood. I mean, damn. It's like, you look at everything that's going on, like you're fighting against police brutality or you're fighting against the protesting certain things. And it's like, you have your there's actually platforms to do that. And there's ways to do it. But then it's like everything is getting spun out of control. Your narrative is being undermined or it's being taken another way. And I think a lot of people don't really understand what's going on nowadays because they're not willing to understand anybody. And everything's still based on fear, but to me, I think that's the problem. People still at this aspect where they look at people like me or anybody like they look at us in the negative. They look at everything in the negative. They look at me like, oh, woman clenches her purse when if I walk past or something. So I don't know. It's crazy shit when you think about how life is really looking on day-to-day basis. You know, it's fucked up. It really is. You know, I don't know. Just try to live it the best way I possibly can. That's all I can say. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with my Instagram one. It keeps reconnecting and everything. But well, at least the whole thing with Facebook is rolling smooth, and the podcast is rolling very, very well right now. So, oh, right before I said anything else, you guys, I'm gonna take a little break on this one real quick. Oh man, just letting you guys know that yes, the t-shirts are up and running on teespring.com. So go ahead and check it out. Late for the Party logo tee. I am also updating a new t-shirt as well, but also in order for you to get to see what the new t-shirt is going to look like or like what it is, I am going to start doing a actual contest. I'm actually going to start doing kind of like a little thing maybe every month or every 2 weeks. So no, every 2 weeks, like maybe twice a week. So like once every 2 weeks. There we go. So like twice in a month. So pretty much what it'll be is that I'm going to give like somebody like a list of like uh what's my favorite movie or what's my top 5 favorite movies or my top 5 songs or my top 5 TV shows or anything like that. Now for those who know me, and if anybody can guess those, and they all have to be right. All of them has to be right. So, and if anybody gets them right, I will go down the list. Everybody will get whoever gets them right, and then pretty much they get a free T-shirt. Free T-shirt on me, straight out. And like I said, representing with the T-shirt and everything else, so you will be rocking the brand new one for free. So I will come out of pocket for that, and just all you got to do is participate on what we're doing. So yeah, sounds like fun, doesn't it? So yeah, but yeah, man. It's a crazy world we live in. Man. But it's just crazy shit. All this stuff. Oh, that's another thing I need to talk about. Man, oh man, oh man. What the? You know what? No. I'm going to come right back on the next segment. I'm going to let this one ride out real quick. So I'm going to let this one ride out and finish off. And I will do the next segment in a matter of minutes. So, you guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and support the podcast. Man, oh man, it's going to be a barn burner. I can't wait to get back on this because I'm going to come right back in a matter of minutes. I just got to take a little break to wet my whistle, and I shall return. So, either way, like, comment, share, subscribe, support the podcast, and please stand by because I will return. This is the In My Mind segment on this segment. And as always, you guys, it's okay to be late to the party, but don't be late for the party. And it's okay to be late for the fun. Yeah, I think I keep changing that up too much. I need to really think about something else on that one.